if you're not keeping your ear to the ground, if you're not listening to your customers, if you're not paying attention to what your competitors are doing and how the market is shifting, it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to be out of business soon.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
It's sad, but it's reality, and it's the truth. And I think that it's just lack of experience. I think that I don't know how in the surface, right? People, entrepreneurs or people that want to start the business, right? Everybody is in love with the product. They create the product and they get in love with this product that they create, that they think that people are gonna buy. But let me tell you something. I have interviewed already 500 multimillionaires in this podcast. Yeah, I haven't found anyone yet that told me, Harry, the initial product, how I designed it, it was actually the actual product that the client bought. Yeah, even in my own property business, when I started, I opened the room the first time. Yeah, it was a guy. I said to a guy, look, you want to rent this room? The guy looked at the room. He said, man, this room needs a little bit of painting. It's a little bit, the paint is old. No, man, I'm not going to rent it. So I go there and say, wow. I bought a paint. I don't know how to paint. I paint the room. I paint myself, my face. I had to clean the floor because I make a big mess. And then I painted the room. So then I opened the door again. The second viewing coming like there. I said, look, this is a room that I'm renting. What do you think? And the guy is looking. Said, look, the room looks clean, but it's a little bit cold, It's cold, this room. I'm like, what do you mean by cold? Cold what? It's a room. Look how nice it is. It's clean. I painted. She said, no, it's, it doesn't have any painting. It's so cold. No, I'm not taking it. Man, then I go to IKEA. I say, okay. So I went to IKEA and I bought a bed sheet, which is pink, orange, and red. So you can get anything more warm than this, yeah? And then I put the duvet like this, orange and red. And then I bought a painting, from IKEA, put it in the room. And in the way back, I think that those Chinese stores that we have in London for £1, I bought a basil with a flower, put it there. And then... guess what happened? The third girl come. I opened the room. I said, would you like to take the room? And the guy said, yes, here's the money. And the rest is story. So it was not the room that how I wanted, like what I thought that they want. They were telling me what they want to buy. They were telling me, if you do this, I'll buy it. As a current format, I'm not renting your room, my friend. I'm like, I need to rent the room. I need the money. So I had to, as soon as they tell me the room is painting, the guy leaving, I'm buying the paint and I'm painting the thing. I don't know anything about business. I don't have any clue about anything. But I need to rent the room because I got my money there. So I did exactly what they told me, and the rest is story. We managed to save 5 million exactly. Listen to them what they want.
Yeah, but I mean that's also part of marketing, right? It's not just you yelling out into the void, screaming at people, right? It's also listening, right? You put stuff out, get the information back, and then adjust, right? You have to adapt. Another thing that I always talked about is adapt or die, right? If you decided no, the room's color is perfect, you just have bad taste. Okay, I'll keep my money and I'll go down the street, right? Or if they say, hey, it's cold, I need some stuff on the walls, or just something, and you said, no, it's perfect temperature. Okay, I'm going to go down the street, right? If you're not listening to your customers, if you're not listening to the market tell you, hey, I don't want this, then you're losing. A great example from that everyone knows is BlackBerry, right? BlackBerry was like the first smartphone on the market, and now they're out of business. And the reason they're out of business is because the founders wouldn't make any changes when the iPhone came out. The iPhone came out and it completely killed the BlackBerry because it was a full screen. Everything was touchscreen. And they refused to think that consumers wanted to get rid of that little keyboard and that little roller thing, right? They felt that that was revolutionary and people are going to always want it, even though the market was clearly telling them that that wasn't the case. iPhone went crazy. So millions and millions of units, in a couple months, right? But they refused to change. And because of it, they died. They wouldn't adapt. So that company died. And as an entrepreneur, if you're not keeping your ear to the ground, if you're not listening to your customers, if you're not paying attention to what your competitors are doing and how the market is shifting, it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to be out of business soon.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Arias, I agree 100% that you always have to be, listening to the consumer, and also, those companies, they need to have, someone like you on board on the team, as a resource or as the so constantly, looking at the market, constantly looking, what are the change, and someone is always listening. Yeah, listening what the customers really want, listening what the market is changing. Exactly what you said. This is part of marketing, so you need a company or an expert in marketing that understands that you have to be the ears for that company, because the faster the ability that you have to understand the change in the market and to adapt quickly is your survival. Is the only way that you can survive. How fast can you respond to change? Yeah, and the organization. That's the other thing as well, as in terms of structure of the organization. Yeah, they're gonna bring you in a company, and then when you say, "Hi guys, I think that the market is going this direction. We need to do this, this, and this." And then the structure of the company, okay, then let me speak with the supervisor, then let me speak with the manager, then let me speak with the director, then let me speak this, then let me speak. And then you need to, the CEO, because the CEO have to micromanage everything. And now they come back, okay, yes, no, like that. The ability to respond to change is so slow that you also die. It's two things, you have to have a structure in your company, like that, to mind that they're like little boats, like 200, 300 liter boats, that if you say turn right, all the boats will turn right. But what you find out there is companies that they are like a Titanic. They don't have 300 liter boats that you say turn right, they will turn right. They have like the Titanic, that if you have to move the whole structure of that to turn right, it takes time, and it's slow. By the time that you turn right, already the iceberg is on top of you. You know what I mean? So, what is your view in this on these companies that have a very slow response to change?
I believe that if you haven't figured out a process that allows you to be nimble, to react faster, if you haven't figured, especially for large companies, one of their strengths is the fact that they're big, right? They've got deep pockets, got an army of employees, but with that, there's a massive separation between the guy at the top, CEO, who has the ability to say, yeah, we're going this direction, and the guy on the ground that sees the iceberg coming, right? You need a process that allows that guy that's at the front line, talking to customers, having the interactions, that's seeing the problem firsthand, to be able to get that up the food chain as soon as possible. And if you don't put those things in place, you're going to be the BlackBerry, right? You're going to be Polaroid, right? Which no longer exists. You're going to be Blockbuster, that no longer exists, because there was impending doom coming, but you didn't listen to anybody who could actually see the change coming, because you're the CEO and you're worth millions of dollars, and you're on CNN and MSNBC. Why would I listen to somebody who makes $20 an hour, right? I'm me. then you're not going to be around long, especially in the age of AI, when any guy with an internet connection, a computer, and access to chat GPT can build something that can completely revolutionize your industry and tank your $50 million business. You'd be a fool not to figure out how to be more nimble, how to give your people latitude to make changes, small changes, but change, right? And if there's a big change that needs to be made, there needs to be a process. There needs to be a quarterly meeting or a monthly meeting where these ideas and these issues come to light and someone says, okay, let's put together a task force to tackle it. This isn't the 60s and 70s where innovation took a decade. ChatGPT came out and had 100 million users in a month. Never happened ever in the history of the world that 100 million people bought any one thing in a month. I think it took Facebook or Instagram like 2 years to get there, right? I think Facebook 2 years. I think it took Instagram like 8 or 10 months to get to 100 million, right? ChatGPT got their first 100 million in 30 days from the time they launched to the end of the month. It's crazy, right? So we're in a business climate where things move at lightning pace. People are breaking molds. They're completely rewriting how we do business. And if you don't keep your ear to the street, you're screwed, right? That big house that you bought, that yacht, that the girlfriend's condo
Absolutely.
that you're paying for, and your country club membership, all that's going to evaporate into thin air if you're not paying attention to what's going on in your industry, and you're not listening to the little guy who's screaming that we need to turn this ship, or we're all going to end up sunk in the water.
Arias, I think, man, you make my day. I think you're brilliant. You are, you really know what you're talking about. I'm so glad, that you share this valuable information with our audience. Yeah, and you're very humble, but you do know your stuff a lot. Yeah, I'm actually impressed. And at my age, I get impressed very little. This I can tell you. At my age, I
Yeah.
get impressed very little. You're really, really good. Yeah, and I'm glad that you helping entrepreneurs out there for real. You put in the work that is required, and you make them understand that this is an investment, and but this is key. Is one of the areas of business that without that you don't have anything. You don't have sales, because if you don't have clients, what you have exactly is a hobby, and that process start to finding those leads, to generating those leads. So Arias, if people are in love with our conversation and they want to work more with you, how can they find you? How this process work?
Yeah, my mission for all of my companies right now is to help 1,000 entrepreneurs generate 100 grand in 1 year.
Wow, I
And
love it.
yeah, and of those, I want to help 100 make $1 million in 1 year by the end of
Wow, I love it even
2026.
more.
Yeah, right.
Very good
So
target. Very good. I love it.
yeah, so launchignition.ai. So www.launchignition.ai is the system that we are using, the program, the business accelerator that we're putting entrepreneurs through, we're putting companies through to make sure that they're built for scale, that they are set up to service their customers faster. And we're using AI in order to propel them forward. So yeah, www.launchignition.ai. And for companies that are already established and just really need some more leads, they need some more customers, they're trying to generate more revenue, we can go to websterberry.com. That's our agency, just like my last name. And we do everything from lead generation and social media advertising to building websites and sales funnels and installing CRM and automation systems, right? So yeah, websterberrymarketing.com or launchignition.ai. We'd be happy to see if we can help.
Thank you so much, Arias. Thank you so much for this amazing content that you share with our audience, and for all of you following this broadcast of Unstoppable. See you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like areas break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.